Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm just testing the YouTube first of all. Is this going there or not?
Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm just testing the YouTube first of all. Is this going there or not? Okay, YouTube working fine. We'll start. Okay. So last time we were doing Dataflow Gen 2. So we'll continue. We'll do a few more operations for just for those who have not joined the last class and even did not practice. So I'll take you through the steps, what you have to do, and then we'll continue on this. So first thing you have to do is you have to go to your workspaces, and inside the workspace, open your workspace, the one which you are using. In this case, I'm using Amit-01 workspace. And in that workspace, you have to create new items. And there you can search Dataflow. Dataflow Gen 2 is something which you have to select. So new item, Dataflow Gen 2. Those who have not done it last time. Those who have already done, don't need to do. So once you click on Dataflow Gen 2, make sure you give a name, keep it enabled, and create it. Now, as we have done this step last time, so those who have done already with me don't need to do this. We'll continue to use the existing one. Fine. So now I'm going to cancel, but those who have not created the Dataflow Gen 2 last time, please go ahead and create it. I'll open the Dataflow Gen 2, which I've created last time. Now this is the Dataflow Gen 2 I created, load sales data. As you can see with the sign, if you have created additional content and you are not able to find it out, you have this filter available here on the top, which can tell you Dataflow Gen 2, or you have the workloads filter, like based on data engineering, data, Power BI, or all those you can search. And then later on, at some stage, we can define the task flows, and task flow we can give a different convention, like this is for data loading, this is for uh, data store and all those, and then we can also track by that tables basically. So I'm going to open this load sales data. Now, okay, this is the first one. I think we need to open the other one. So let's go back to the workspace. We need to transform data. So open the second one, transform data, where we have load the pivot data.xl. That's the one we have to use. I'm going to open this one now. So the last one you have to do with help of the video only. We are only going to touch transform data today. Open the transform data. Now those who have not loaded the transform data or missed out last time, what they have to do is they have to go to my GitHub account, github.com Amit Chandak PBI /Power BI. Okay. You scroll down and I'm going to give you this link. Don't worry about it. Pivot data.xls and click on that. Now, if you take this link, you need to replace this blob by raw. Otherwise, go down on the raw, right click, copy link. This is the link you have to use. And I'm going to share this link on the chat window. So this was the file we have used. The second file, the first file which I used was the sales data. Now go back to your Dataflow Gen 2. Those who have not imported it last time, click on Get Data, More. This is under the Home tab or Home ribbon. Press More. Search for Web. Use Web API. Give the URL, and if it asks for authentication, you need to use anonymous authentication. In my case, it will not ask because I have already loaded it once. The moment I give the URL, it will come like this. Now, some of you will face challenge because if you simply keep this name as is, then you will face the challenge. So you have to do edit connection and give it a new connection name. Probably include some of your unique characters or your name so that the connection name becomes unique. Then you have to press next. Because some people have directly clicked on that URL and they might have got that name with that URL. So again, same name connection is not allowed. Now you can check all of these. Make sure the teal button is visible in front of everything so that you can practice. Now for practice, I have already suggested one video to all of you. Those of you already done, they can quickly follow what we are doing. So I'm not going to do that, but those who missed out last class can add those, and by clicking on create, those who already have it can click on cancel. So those missed last class need to click on create by checking all the files. You have to check all the files also. No, don't leave the other ones. And those who already done, click on cancel, come back. Now we have already done two transformation last time, pivot data and unpivot data. So we are not going to repeat those, but now we'll come to the third transformation, which is transpose data. In the transpose data, what you see is this data doesn't look good at all. You have major, which row with the row where the first column is major, and it contains date. The second one contains sales. The third one contains margin. Seems like the data has been transposed. So let's click on this table icon here so that nothing is selected. And then we can try an operation known as transpose. We can go to transform data, and inside the transform data, you can see this operation transpose. Transform data tab or transform ribbon. From the top, you will see transpose option. So it is basically switching rows to the column and column to rows. So what transpose does? It convert rows to column and column to rows. And you might have done this into your Excel multiple times. We bring in some data and then we transpose and try to look into that one. So click on that, and data seems to be in much better position, isn't it? Other than the first row. So you see all the dates in one column now. That's how we want one data type in one row. Sales seems to be in one row, one column. Sales in one column and margin in one column. So we want same data type in one column, not in one row, which was the previous case. Now, how do we move this major sales and margin on the top? To do that, what we have to do? Can someone tell me the operation what we need to do? Anyone?
Use header.
Use header.
Use
Use.
header.
Okay, so the option we have is home tab, transform, use first row as header. Now, for some of you, it might be coming directly. For some of you, it might be coming under transform, depending on the adjustment of the screen. Use first row as header. That's what we have to do. Click on that. So it should do two things. One is it moves the first row as header, promote headers. And second one is it should also change the data type. So Microsoft has added this default step here where what happens is not only it promotes, it also detects the data type automatically after promoting the header because those data type could have changed. Now there is only one problem here. This is not major. These two are major, sales and margin. So this is date basically. So this column name is wrong. So what you have to do is you have to rename it as date. Please try out the operation. Transpose, promote headers, and rename column. So now we have done rename column. Table dot rename columns, major as date. You can see it here in the query setting. And those who are not seeing the query setting, you have to enable it from view. If you click on the view, you will see an option to enable the query setting. So quickly try that out. So the data was in a wrong shape. The rows was in the columns and columns were in rows. So we were able to correct that. So that was the one operation we have learned now. Then I think gap last time we already corrected. Okay, we have not corrected this. Okay, maybe we've done it in the Hindi class. So how do we correct this data? Can someone start suggesting me the operations? What all problems you see? There are 3 problems here. Okay. While you are trying to unmute and speak, I'll highlight one of the problem. Complete rows are blank. First problem. Second problem you already seen in the last one. First row is header.
Headers.
And what is the third one? Look carefully to this row. This is a duplicate row.
Duplicate.
Okay. So now there are chances sometime you need duplicate row. It may be a transaction table, exactly same transaction might have happened, and there is no primary key, then there are chances that you can have duplicate rows. But that's not the case. Uh, that's not true in our case. Okay. So what we are going to do is we will start the operations. So let's start the reduce rows operation. We are going to reduce the rows. And the first thing we are going to do is we can remove blank rows. So remove rows. You have keep rows and remove rows. So I'm going to use remove rows because I want to remove the rows and remove blank rows. So once you remove the blank rows, the rows which are completely null should get removed. So what operation it has done? Table.select rows, each not list empty. Okay. Complete record, from the complete record of each record, if the record itself is empty, we are removing. Now we are done with the first step. Now what could be the second step? What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the first row as header. Transform data, not transform data tab. Transform here on the home tab. Some of you might directly see it as an option. Use first row as header. And those who have done Power Query, you will directly see it in your desktop without having this transform grouping or super menu. So we got promoted headers. So headers, we have promote a row to header. To promote headers means moving the row to header, promoting it. And then now we need to deal with this. So what operations we have done? Remove rows, promote headers. So remove rows were in reduce rows and promote headers was in transform. Sometime it may directly appear somewhere here. Okay. Now the last operation, reduce rows, remove rows, remove duplicates. We are going to remove duplicate. So now duplicates have been removed. Now this data is in good position. Same way you can practice this on this one also. Now try out. Those of you are facing some issue, let me know. Just checking if somebody facing issue on YouTube. No, doesn't seems like. Okay, I'm back here. Now we'll go to replace. So first problem you can correct now in the case of replace. Correct the first problem. What is the first problem? Use first row as header. And we know when all the data types are detected as text, we can face this problem easily. The first row will not become header. So again, home, transform, transform, home, transform, use first row as header. Now here comes the next thing. There are quite a few null values. And this time I don't want these null values. I want to replace it with something. Second is this GG value also I want to replace. So I want to learn two things, how to replace GG value and how to replace null value. So GG is here, GG is here, and GG is here also. Now there is a triple G also here. So what I want to do, for the both the columns, I want to do a replacement. So what I can do is either I can select that, unselect the table, and let's try out transform. Where is that? Replace. Okay, let's select both of them and right click. Now sometimes it is easy to right click and find out replace values, but we should have it in transform also replace values. So once you select, I've selected both the columns. How did I select it? Click, shift click or control click. Select both of them, right click replace values or replace values in transform. It only get enabled once you select the complete table or select one column at least. Now multiple columns I'm doing, so I'm selected multiple columns. Replace values. What you want to find out? Double G and replace with, let's say, good. Can we see the advanced option? So value double G replace with good. And let's look at the advanced option. Match the entire cell content. Use special characters. Okay. So right now I'll try to see what happens if I don't say match the entire cell content. Okay. GG good. And let's replace. You can replace with anything. Both the columns are selected. Please pay attention. Both the columns were selected when I do the, when I started that. And you can see here, replacer has worked on these two columns. You see good, good. There was triple G, so two G's were replaced with good. Okay, and then there is another good here. Now I can click on the settings here. Now first you try that out. Then I'll click on the setting and try to see one more option which we have not used. Try this out. Replace. So here I'm now going to click on that replace setting icon. I clicked on the setting icon, the last step, and now I'm using match the entire cell content. See, I'm replacing the existing step so that it redo the operation. I'm not adding another operation now because that every step is once it is performed, I have that data only in the next step. So either I have to, if I want to go back, I should remove that operation or I should modify the existing operation. Some operations can be easily modified, like this one, match the entire cell content we are able to do by just modifying its settings. If it is not able, you are not able to modify, then you have to delete it. But be careful when you delete intermediate steps. So click on OK. What should happen in this case? Can anybody point out the difference? When we say match the content of entire cell, there is one difference from the last one.
GGG was not replaced.
Yes, GGG is not replaced. So when you want to match the full cell content, you have to use that option. Now the question comes, can we also replace null? This is NULL null. See, it is differently placed here. It is not NULL in the double quotes. It's not coming NULL like this. It means it's a blank value or null value, and it is treated little differently. But the good thing for us is if I want to replace this null value, and again both the columns are selected, I can go to replace values and I can simply type NULL without any option. Okay, and I can replace it with anything, let's say NA. Now you see NULL has been replaced with NA. Now you would ask question, how do I get NULL null? If let's say I have actually value NULL small, then after doing this, you can put it into double quotes. Okay. So once you put it into the double quotes, then it will take the text NULL. So default it taken as null. Now reverse is also true. Can I replace some value with null? So can you try out replacing this hyphen value with null? So first you have to replace all the null values with NA, NULLs all small with NA, and then you have to replace this hyphen with null, NULL all small. The null should appear on this side basically, not like left align. So can you try out and start sharing the screenshot? So you have to try another replace operation where you will replace this hyphen with null. And you can try out both. Once you replace, you can change it to double quotes into the text and see what is the difference. I can see the screenshots have come. Very good. The correct null value is replaced. Okay. Again, we can select both or we can select only one this time. We don't need to select both because there is no hyphen here. Replace values from the transform data. Replace value hyphen. Replace with NULL null. You see it's the right aligned null. And I can go ahead and change. See, this is the my formula bar, or we have a name here for this. Go to view script, tab script. This is this tab script. I can put double quote into this tab script and I can come and commit this, and you will see the null move to the left hand side. Now it is text null. It is not NULL. See, NULL, which was on the right, means absence of a value, and it is different from this null, which is text null, or the blank single quote single quote. Sometimes you don't see that NULL. It means it is an empty string, double quotes empty string. So I could simply go ahead and do it like this. See, this is now not null. This is empty string. So this also is a part of cleanup. Sometimes we need empty string and sometimes we don't need. So depending on what we need, we will may convert this empty string also into null. Because sometimes null is much safer to have than the empty strings. It just depends how we wanted to collect that information. So I'm going to change it to again NULL. But now you know how to identify empty string, how to identify it is NULL, the null means the absence of value, or it is null as a text. So all three are different things. Now we are going to learn joins. Now here to learn the joins, I have created two tables. One is master and one is details. Now there is a problem. If you see master, it is not a true master. The category ID is repeating. And I have knowingly kept it so that I can show what happens when you have such a repetition of values in your master tables. How your data dynamics will change. Also note down the IDs. They are 1, 2, 3, 5. There is no 4 here. So master, if you have not loaded, you can go to recent sources or load it, or follow the same process. Home tab, get data, more, web API, and load the missing one. Or load both of them if they are missing. So we understood master. Now look at the detail table. What is this detail table? The detail table is the cat ID, not the category ID. Not the ID column is not going to join. Cat ID is the column where I have to join. This is the correct column. Now here you see I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is no 5 here. And 1 is repeating twice here also. So 1 is repeating twice there, 1 is repeating twice here. Now we will learn the joins. So can some of you tell me the kind of joins we have learned when we were doing SQL? Different kind of joins. You can type or you can unmute and tell me. Also those who are on YouTube can type in the YouTube chat window. Inner, left, right, full. And we did talk about anti join. Okay. So now we are also going to do that here. So I'm going to pick up the master from here. I'll click on the master. Yes, full and anti. Very good. Cross join. Cross join we have not tried actually, both the places. Interesting thing. How to do cross join in Power Query is something really interesting. I have a video around that. I think SQL it is very simple. You don't give a join between two tables, it becomes a cross join. But how to do cross join in Power Query? Someone of you have to answer by finding out the video on my channel and find out. So sometime if you want to find out like say on a particular channel, so give the person's name or the channel's name and then the video name which you are searching, like Amit Chandak cross join, Power Query cross join. You will get that easily. Okay, we'll proceed now. We want to join this table with other table details. So I selected the master table, and in this case, we are going to do it like this. We are going to select the master table. Now, where is the place to join? So we have combined here. Now, those who used Power BI desktop, we have two options directly visible inside this one: merge queries and append queries. Here, merge means joins, joining two tables. It means the rows are going to join. Append means putting one below each other, union. The tables will lie one below each other. Keep on appending, keep on appending. Appending means new row addition, and merging means new column addition. So we are going to do merge queries. Here there is a small arrow. I'm going to use that. And the reason for that, every time I do the operation, I want to create a new query so that my original queries are not disturbed. So merge queries as new. Otherwise, if I use merge queries, this master table will change, which I don't want to, because I want to do all those operations left, right, again and again to showcase you. So I don't want my master detail to change. So I'm going to use merge queries as new, means merge these two tables but create a new one. But we have selected only one table. So merge queries as new, the first table has appeared and it is already the left table. The table above or the first table is the left table. Now merge with the right table. What is my right table? Details. So details, it is sort alphabetically here if you see. Now how do I join it? So you have to select the column. So I selected one there, and if I go and click here, I will be able to select one more. Now the question arises, what happens if there is more than one column? Now as a Power BI guy, you are aware that at least in the DEX or when we create a relationship, we are not able to join on two columns. But here we will be able to do control and click on other column. It will select other column. Control and click here on the other column. It will select other. So more than one column, control and click. To uncheck, again, control and click, control and click. So you can select more than one column for joining. Now join kind. What kind of join you want it to do? So hope you have selected already category ID in the first table master, cat ID in the second table. For the inner join, it doesn't matter much, but for others, it will matter. So first time we are going to do the inner join. Now the fuzzy matching log option we will be using in kind of text matches. Okay. Now inner join means, what does inner join means? Only matching rows. Okay. If you hover over, the meaning has been given. Only matching rows will come. Then there are certain more options when you do fuzzy logic, but we don't want to do that. Now you can click on OK. Inner join, only matching rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. 4 and 5 are the non-matching IDs. So click on OK. Little difference than what we have learned from SQL. We were able to see all the selected column there. Now, little different thing happens here in Power Query. What it does is it joins the table and give other table as a table in each row. It is the basically matched rows here. Don't click anywhere. I'm going to click on the empty space and you will see the matching rows here. The 2 rows matched with this and 2 rows matched with this because we had two rows. And then we have one matching row here and there is no 4 and 5 here. Cat ID, no cat ID 4, no cat ID 5. Now, how do I get the complete data? So here I have the expand icon. This double arrow. This appears when we get list. This appears when we get tables. This even appear when we get JSON fields. Or when you bring in the JSON file, if it is not automatically able to expand, you will get this icon. So use this expand icon. And now you can choose what all column you want to bring in. Now cat ID is already a join column. In case of inner join, it is not going to add any value. So I can uncheck this. Now use original column name as prefix. So if you want a prefix of the table name, then you can use it. I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to click on OK. Now you can see I got my ID column. I got my name one column. It automatically renamed my name because it was appearing in both the tables. Observe carefully. The ID one is now 4 times. Two of those and two of those. So when you are having a master table and if the master table, the information is repeating, that multiply the number of rows appear in the detailed table and that is going to double up your information or triple up your information that divides. So if it is 2, 2 multiplied by the number of rows in detail. If it is 3, 3 multiplied by number of rows in the detail table. So now we know why we got so many rows, but now we know how to do an inner join. Now this table has appeared as a merged table below. You can see it's a calculated table. And you should also look at the first step. If you look at the first step, they have performed a table dot nested join master on category ID, detail on cat ID, details, join kind dot inner join has been performed. And the second one is expand. Now, if you want to rename it, double click on it or right click rename. The fifth option. And we can call it inner. Now we are going to repeat this exercise few times to learn more about left join, right join, full join, and anti-join. So let me quickly click on the master now. Now this time I'm going to use master table as the master. Now it is not optional to choose detail because now we want to do the left join and right join to understand it better. First I want to do the left join. The first table is going to be the left table. So I want the rows which are matching plus additional rows from the left table. Means the 5 should come. The 4 will not come, the 5 will come. So click on the first table master. Go to combine. Click on combine. Click on the small arrow of the merge queries. Merge queries as new. Repeat the same exercise of selecting the second table as details. Click on category ID, cat ID in the second table. So master, it is category ID, detail is cat ID, joint kind is left outer. Click on OK. Once you click on OK, again you will get a new query. You can see on the left merge. And once the data appear, you will see you got a table this time. And the table has a column as another table. And the difference is we have five. So the matching rows 1, 2, and 3 and the unmatched data from the left table has come. You can click here and you can see that the data is empty because there is no match on the right hand side. Always click on the empty space. The moment you click on the table, it will add a step. Then you have to cross it out. You have to remove that step. Expand. And you know this. Expand. And now this time I'll keep the category ID also here because in the second one, when we do the right and full join, we are going to need that. I'm going to keep all the columns and now you can see the matching cat ID or the category ID was not available and the data from the second table is coming as null because it was a left join given priority to the left table. For the table where the IDs were not available, the join key was not available in the right table, we still got those rows. So now you're quickly going to perform right join. Those of you who want to rename, please go ahead and rename it as left. Double click or right click rename on the query name, going to do the job. Now first finish off left and start doing the right. I give you a couple of minutes to paste your screenshot, those who have joined on the team. Someone has asked the question how to perform joins if you have more than one column in the two tables. I think I explained you need to press on the control and click on the other column. And it will also give the order. In the same order, you have to repeat the exercise on the second table. Okay, the same question was asked by Tarun also. So what I'm going to do when I'm going to perform the right operation, I'm going to showcase you that again. I do see a screenshot coming, but this is the screenshot of till the left join. Can some people try the right join and give me the screenshot? You have to try the right join, then I'm going to come on that. Okay, some of you did not get the login details. Don't worry, today again evening I'm going to create the logins. Those who applied on the form, hopefully you have the form with you. Let me give the form, registration form detail. Okay, you apply on this form. Once you add your name on the form, I'll add your ID. Okay, I can see some of you are able to successfully do the right join. So let me explain you while others are trying. Continue. Those who are already know how to do it, continue to try. Those who want, have still some doubt, please see it. Look at the screen. Click on the master. Now it is very important because if you click on the detail, it will switch the position because you know left and right join are just about position. They are outer joins, but they are just about position. Left outer and right outer is just positions. If you change the positioning of the table, the left and right will be changing. That is why we are keeping master always first. So master table, click on master table, combine, merge queries as new, small arrow, merge as queries as new, select master table. The left is already selected. I select the right details. Now first column category ID. If you want to select more than one, then click control click. Okay, you can see this numbering 1 and 2, very small numbering. If you need more than one column. But right now I don't need, so I can control and click again. So one column will go away. Again, click on category ID. The join has been selected. Now join type or kind, right outer. So you will select right outer and then come out and click on OK. And after that, you're going to get this new query merge again with the same name. You can rename it and expand it from here. Before even expanding, you can see the null value. It means this table is going to give us value. We will not have the value from the first table. Expand, click on OK. Now you can see the data on the left hand side of the table is blank or null because we have done a right join. Now quickly go ahead and do the full join. Those who have already done with those two. Now full join means the ID 5 on the left, ID 5 on the left and ID 4 on the right, both should come. Those rows which contain 5 and 4 should come. Isn't it? Full outer join. So those who have already done, quickly try out full outer join. So let's go back to the master. Combine merge queries as new. Merge queries as new. Master detail. I'm keeping the order same. Category ID, cat ID, and full outer join. Okay. And now you see a little bit of difference. You see one row with the starting with null and one row with have some values. And we know this table will not have values if we click and check it out in the empty space. But we can simply expand it with all the columns. Click on OK. And now you can see both left and right non-matching ID rows are coming. So this is full outer join. Not having ID on the left, not having ID on the right. This was our matching column. This versus this. Same thing we have done on SQL. Same thing we have done on Power Query. Same thing we are going to do on PySpark also. Now you can rename. And the last join which we are going to try here is full we have already tried left anti, and you can try right anti later on. Left anti means something which is present in the table 1 and not present in the table 2, present in the left hand side, not present in the right hand side. And we know we should only get the row 5 because that's the only thing which is present on the left table which is not present on the right table. A minus B in the sets, it is known as A minus B, something which is present in A, not in B. So here we say master minus details. So something which is present in master, not in details, based on the joint columns or the common columns. So click on the master, click on combine, merge queries as new. First table is master, second table is detail. The joint column is category ID and cat ID. And we are going to click on left anti. One selection is going to happen here. It's already telling us. Click on OK. Now, while in case of left anti, it is not necessary to expand. In case of right, you do have to expand. You know there's something which is coming here which is not matching, but still expand it and check it out. So blank rows coming from the 2, something which is present in A based on the joint column, not present in the right table, is the left anti. Same way you can try right anti also. So let me call it as left, right, full. I'm just double clicking and renaming my queries. You can also do that. And left anti. You can also try right anti, but just for the time, we're going to leave it. Okay. Now right click on master and duplicate it. Right click, duplicate, and then there is an option reference. Reference means call by value, the table would be used. But here I need 2 copies, so let me duplicate this. So I got master 1 and master 2. Now in this master 2, let me add one more column. Add column, index. Start from 0, start from 1. It is going to give me unique row numbers. It's going to give me unique row numbers. And these row numbers would be in the same order the data get loaded. Or you can follow the custom start indexing from an increment. Somebody asks you, I need, even. So index starting from 0 or 2, increment of 2. Index of odd, start from 1, increment of 2. But here we need starting from 0 or 1, an increment of 1, continuous IDs. So this is what we call adding an index column. So sometimes they say, okay, you don't have uniqueness, add index column. Adding index column means you are creating a unique row ID for every row. So try out add index under the transform data. Now we are going to try another operation. And the operation is append or union. The operation which happens here is union all basically. It's not going to remove the data which is repeating in both the tables. We can remove duplicates if needed. But anyway, we created 2 different tables, master and master 2 with little differences. Now they don't have same number of columns. They do have same name columns, but they don't have same number of columns. Can we merge such 2 tables? Because in SQL union, we are not able to do. So I click on one of the table, go to the home tab, go back to combine, append queries as new, select the second table as master 2. If there are more, then I can use 3 or more tables. Click on OK. And you can see that the index column is not available for one of the table and it's coming blank. But we are able to merge 2 tables, which is having different number of columns. Or this is append 2 tables. Or union 2 tables. Or union all 2 tables with different number of columns. So append or union all, it has happening here. Try out append from the combined, append queries as new, select the first table, add the second table, try out and start sharing the screenshots. Yes, the column name should match. If the column name do not match, you will get these column like additional column for non-matching columns. If you have duplicate, anything which you do with the master table will not have an impact. If you give a reference, that will have an impact. Like the joins were reference. But be careful. In this case, we can't do a reference in the append case because both the tables would be referring to the same table. So what are you appending to? Okay, because the same table will get changed, then we will have a problem. So that is why we duplicated for append. Okay. So now there are many other operations you can still do. You can do a lot of text operation. You can do, more cleanup, and there are tons of options to explore. And for all of them, I would still suggest you go ahead and explore the 3-hour video. See, you have the split column, you have extract, you have format, and then you have tons of other Power Query functions to explore. So those who want to have Power Query as their choice of transformation, and at least you want to command it for your learning purpose, you can go ahead and explore the video. It is part of both 3-hour video and the 20-hour video. 3 hour is exclusively Power Query. 20-hour we have the complete Power BI, where we have other stuff also. So I give you link for both of them. Depending on your choice, you can explore. I given both the links. So you see 2 links, only one of them get highlighted here. I'm pasting it on the YouTube also. So my advice would be go ahead and explore those out. The good advantage is, even if you are not going to use Power Query, it will give you good idea of what kind of operations you can have. And the same thing we will be able to use when we do PySpark. So you can find out how to do similar operation in PySpark, and we prefer PySpark because of its scale. Now I'm going to just save it and close it. No save and run. I just wanted to learn the transformation here. So I'm going to save it. I don't want to discard the changes. And to close, I can go on the left hand pane. And if I hover over on these things, transform data, I can close. And it will automatically open the load data. I can close that also. So now we have learned how can we use Dataflow. We will quickly see how to bring data using data pipeline. But before that, you can raise your hand and ask a question, or unmute yourself and ask a question. If you have any questions, you can also type. We are joining on YouTube. Okay, we'll continue now. Now we know there is another method to bring in the data and also to orchestrate the data, that is data pipeline. So we would like to learn that. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on new item in my workspace. I'm back at my workspace. If you're not back, search for the shortcut of the workspace or go to workspaces and go back to your workspace. Inside the new item, I'll search for data pipeline or pipeline. I'll click on data pipelines. Once I click on data pipeline, under the, I think I just, when you press the escape, it does remove it. Get data, data pipeline. I'll get an empty pipeline. I can give it as a name. Let me call it get retail data. Given a name, and after that I move to the next step. Now it give me an empty pipeline. And in the empty pipeline, you see pipeline activities. I can go to various pipeline activities and get shortcut to copy data assistant. Practice with sample data. So in case you don't have data, you can bring it via the sample data and templates. Please go ahead and explore this out a little later. But let's have a quick look at activities which can be explored from here or from here. So when we click copy data and copy job purview, copy job is outside. Now you can add it here also. Data flows, we can call our data flows here. Delete data, we want to delete data, we can use it. Lookup, to look up a particular value in a database or run a query. Get metadata, metadata of folder or files. If condition, if you want to break, switch, multiple break, filter to filter the data. Wait, we can add wait between 2 steps. For each, if you want to run loop, until, if you want to run loop. Set variable, if you want to set the variable values. Just like programming, you can do x is equal to x plus 1, something like that. Append variables, fail operation, invoke pipeline and invoke other pipeline, legacy method, invoke pipeline in the new method, web. We got the data, web, from we want to get the web data. Web hook, semantic model refresh, if you want to refresh the semantic model. Now, why there is a need of a semantic model refresh? Because we can switch off the semantic model refresh so it does not catch up in between while we are running our transformations, and we can catch up at that. You want to call Azure Databricks, you can call from here. You want to call functions, you can call functions. Azure AD inside, Azure batch, and then you can also call Office and Teams. You can call Spark notebooks, job definitions, you can call script, store procedure, SQL. Store procedure is inside SQL. So if you are using, let's say, warehouse, you might write your transformation in store procedure. If you like Power Query, you might write it in Dataflow Gen 2. If you like PySpark or Scala or Spark SQL, you would write it in notebooks. So you are going to call those code. So first thing which we are going to do is we are going to use this copy data system, which is also part of the pipeline activity here. But I'll click on that in the middle of the screen and I'm going to use that. So it's going to ask me what is the source data. Now again, I want to bring something from my GitHub account. So I go to my GitHub account. Again, first I'll go to Amit Chandak PBI Power BI. Now there is another data here, which is for the beginner tutorial series, YouTube XLS. I'll give you the link. I'll click on this. I can copy with changing blob to raw, or right click on raw, copy link address. I'm going to give it to you on both YouTube as well as Teams. Now let's search for the web or HTTP. So we have HTTP here. I'm going to use that. Let me try that out. HTTP. We're going to give this URL. You can give a connection name also. There should not be any need of a gateway. It's an online source. Authentication should be anonymous. Privacy level should be none or organization. Paste the URL. URL is there in your chat. I'm using it for first time, so connection name I should change. Let me call it Git Retail Amit. I'm trying to make it unique so that it does not interfere with the connections you are creating. Ideal way would have been I created a connection and share with all of you, so you don't need that. Press on next. I'm going to leave it as is. Whatever is there in the second screen. Again, press next. Now here I need to wait till the time it detects it is an Excel. Right now it is saying it is a delimited text file. So this UI takes little time. It do go ahead and read it. Number one thing. So wait on this screen. Second is all the names which I'm going to get going to have spaces here. And sometime the pipeline do not rename it automatically. So you might have to take care. Now the lake houses do support spaces in the name. So we should be able to manage it now. But if there are challenges, you have to manually rename it. So instead of delimited text on the file format, once it start appearing, you have to choose Excel. And you can use preview data, always good. Index or name. Index, I think 0, start with 0. So let me use 0. I only have one sheet. Use first row as header. I'll also check that. And let me preview the data to make sure that I'm looking at the correct stuff. Review is really important for the unknown data. It may take little time, But now you can see I'm getting the correct details. So you can cross the preview or you can close the preview by pressing on the cross icon or the X icon. Press next. Destination, lakehouse or warehouse or SQL database. Right now we only have the lakehouse and the warehouse. I can move it anywhere, but these are new fabric items. Okay, you scroll down or choose your lakehouse or warehouse. These both are coming from Hindi. So I'm going to go to this one lake catalog where I should be able to see my complete one lake stuff. In this one lake catalog, I need to find out Lakehouse 01 from the English series. Lake 01. You can also choose warehouse if you want. Now, where should it land? Table or file? I want it table. No benefit of bringing anything as file on the fabric unless we need it as a file only. Existing table or new table, we are going to load it to new table. And the new table would be retail data. Retail underscore data. You can give some any name you want. You can check the mappings here, but this is a very small screen, so you might not want to change it here. If it doesn't like that, no worries. We'll click on the next and we'll uncheck this start data transfer immediately because we have to correct the data types. Uncheck this and click on OK. The first activity has been added to our pipeline. Now you can click on this activity. You will see different options. First is name. You can rename. You can call it as get retail data. Then source, correct. Destination, correct. We are not too bothered. Mapping. This is where we are interested in. And that is why we have not asked it to run immediately. So order ID string is fine, or it could be number. It depends on what we have. But right now order ID is fine. Now the second one need to be a date or timestamp. So I'm making it as a date. The item ID need to be an integer. So order date, item ID integer, category, subcategory, subcategory, brand is fine. They are all strings. Then unit price is decimal or double. Decimal. Quantity is, you can take it as an integer, but we can also take it as decimal. Percentage, decimal, double float. Unit cost, decimal, double float. City, state, region is fine. Location ID can be integer. Order type, payment method is fine. Customer ID can again be integer. To be on safe side, just check when you press at the last of these things, do you have a space? Like, do I have a space at the start or the end? Because it may error out. You have support for white spaces now, but still better if you are using Lakehouse, you do check it out. So once you are done with the renaming, look at order date as date, item ID as integer, unit price, quantity, discount percentage, unit cost as decimals, and again customer ID can be integer. With that, I'm all set. My destination mapping has been changed. I can validate it. On the home tab, I have an option to validate it. Home, validate, and after validate, we are going to run it. Everything is fine. Click on validate. It should validate your pipeline. And after that, you should click on run. It is asking to save you. Yes, we have not saved the changes, but we have done. So save and run. It should automatically start appearing here in the below section, the pipeline run. So wait for it. And while it is running, you can ask the question. So we are now using the data pipeline. And in the data pipeline, we have only used one activity, the copy activity, to bring in the data. This section is automatically refreshing, and it says it will continue to refresh 5 minutes while the pipeline is running. Click on turn on auto refresh to stop it automatically from refreshing. But we want to see whether it is get loading or not. See, if you change data type later, and if your destination does not overwrite it, you might have to delete the table which is already created in your lakehouse or warehouse. It is unable to overwrite that. So it is always better that we change it for very first time. Yes, we might not change in that UI, the pop-up UI, because it's very small, but the mapping should get corrected, because sometime it may not allow you without deleting the table at the destination. So basically the second thing was destination. The destination is a lake house. So we are waiting for it to refresh. You can unmute, ask your question in the chat window. I'm able to successfully load it. Some of you may face errors, and in case you are facing errors, you can let me know. You get this message. This is the duration. It took 1 minute and 3 seconds to load the data. You click on the input here, this arrow. You'll be able to know few more details. Okay, source, everything. And if you click on the output here, you will be able to know the data read, the data written, file read, file written, peak connections, sync connections, number of connections. Only one connection has been given. Row read and row copied is really important for you. Copy duration is 36 seconds and throughput. These are important things for you. If the throughput is reducing, we can play around with the number of connection it should check. Now database, it is important, like it's a file, might not be able to do multiple connection, but then the number of connection become important. And this row and this row should match, otherwise there is some error. Sometimes we do allow, if there are blank rows, if we want to ignore, we can give that option to ignore. So that is available in the advanced. So these things should match, so we know. And now you can also check what are the number of rows in my source. What does my file contain? I can download and check. If it is database, I can query at the source what is there. Now, depending on append or replace mode, which we can identify by clicking here, and if when we go to the destination, it is overwrite mode. So if I run it again, it is overwrite mode. It's going to replace the data and load it. If I keep it append, and if I run it again, the data will get appended. I'll get the double of number of rows. Okay. So now this way you can do the copy activity. Now let us say you have this copy activity, and along with that you also want to run that data flow which we created, or the notebooks which we have created. You can go to the activities, and you can bring those activities also here. Let's say click on data flow. Now if these are not joined, it means they are going to run in parallel, all one together. If you join them, like on the success run the first, on the success of first run the second one, or on the failure of first run the second one, or any action, failure or success on completion run the second one. So success, failure, or any, whether success or failure, just run the second one. It is not dependent on the first one, success or failure. Now once you click on this data flow activity, is whenever whatever activity you want to set, you have to click on that. You can go to settings, and you can call our data flows which you want to load. Let's say load sales data, and now it will go to load the sales data. Same way, when it errors or when it's success, you want to send a message either on Outlook or Teams. You can click on those activities. Let's say I want to send Outlook. Outlook, when it fails, then I can click on the Outlook activity and go to settings. I have to sign in. This is single sign on right now. So I added Outlook activity on the failure of second activity. If the first activity fail, it may not give me the message, but the complete pipeline will fail, so it may reach finally to the failure. I need to sign in using my single sign on. Allow the access, and once I allow the access, it will ask me subject and the message. I can give with whom I wanted to send, who should be notified if this pipeline got failed. What is the subject? Pipe line failed. I can have any message, and in the message I can also use some pipeline variables like pipeline ID, workspace ID, even the subject or the type. All those things you can do. Output activity. So you can use variables. I can give an email ID here, Amit at organizational email, and then you can save it. So now if some activity fails or this activity fails, I'll get a message. So now this is orchestration. This is not simple thing which we have done. This is not one activity we are bringing data copy activity. No, I can bring data using copy activity. I can bring using data flows. I can bring using notebook. I can do transformation using data flow or using notebook and combine all of them together. And then finally on the home tab, I will have the schedule and I can schedule these activities. So click on schedule and here you have the schedule, run now or add schedule. Click on add schedules. Every minute you want to run, hourly you want to run, daily you want to run, weekly you want to run, or monthly you want to run. Monthly is the new option which has been added. Even minutes option is very recent. Now minutes I think we do have in the Power BI world because we can have 30 minutes refresh. Now this 30-minute refresh has gone down, okay? So we can have even lesser than that. So monthly, once I want to refresh, then I can choose specific day or specific weekday or date of time, or I want to do it, let's say daily. Daily on which weekday? Sunday, Monday, or daily? All of them, all days, okay? At what time? Let's say 7 a.m. Daily 7 a.m. or before even class starts, we can have it. Let's select it. Okay, or you can manually also click here and change like this. Then start date, you can give today's date or after today, and you can end it whenever you want in future, and you can save it. I'm not going to save it, but once you save it, it's going to create a schedule which is going to run daily in this case or on a particular weekday depending on how you need. How pipeline is different compared to ADF or Databricks pipeline. See, every pipeline has the same job that it has to orchestrate and allow other activities to complete the job. ADF pipelines are very similar. They also do the same job. They also have the copy activity. They also can call Azure data flows. They also can call other activities which are available in Azure. Same way Bricks pipeline can do the same thing by calling various other activities of data pipeline, Databricks, or on the supported activities from other sources. So basically the job here is to orchestrate, means to bring the activities together, execute them in a particular manner, send the correct message out on the completion on failure so that you don't have to manage it. You don't have to bother that this activity should complete first and then this should run or they should run in parallel. All this can be taken care by pipelines. So these are basically your complete end-to-end process from source to destination, including your transformation, clean data, lending it to silver, lending it to bronze, cleaning it on silver and moving it to gold. All can be done by creating a one single pipeline, and all these steps keep on moving. Okay, so you can do it like that. Now I can see questions. I see the Shahid Sheikh has raised his hand. Shahid Sheikh, please, you can go ahead.
Hey, hi, good morning. Actually, I have one question. If you
Yeah.
using the Dataflow Gen 2 and apply the schedule refresh, so minimum schedule refresh frequency is 30 minutes. So we can bypass this schedule refresh using data pipeline and run this data pipeline in 1 minute. Is that possible?
Yes, here it is pretty much possible to have it run in 1 minute, but make sure that it completes within minute. Because if it doesn't complete in 1 minute, uh, it will have little challenges. Ideally, for Fabric, you should not have restriction of 1 minute or 2 minute. Okay, minimum is 1 minute, but be careful having a very low frequency because it should not create. The one ETL does not finish and the second one has to start. It will keep on waiting. So, but yes, possible to have that one. And I think half an hour was a limitation in Power BI world. In the Fabric world, just go ahead and check it out again. Dataflow Gen 2.
Okay.
That too in Power BI Premium, we can only have 48 refresh per day. And in Power BI Pro, we only used to have 8 refreshes per day. Those were the limitations, but those are not the limitation of Fabric once you have the capacity. Most of the Fabric workspaces are premium workspace, even though you have a very small capacity like F2. Okay, so there was one question which I already answered. Let me see if there is something on YouTube. I don't see any question on YouTube. So we will do the same thing.